can we build discipline? I'm going to give you some scientific backed methods that research has proven to work, and also some other more spiritual based ways. So the first one I want to talk to you about is we need to reprogram your identity. I've told you so many times, if you guys are trying to force change, there is resistance. Even the book Atomic Habits, it says you need to just act like the person who does these things. I'm not somebody who tries to read a book every day. I just am somebody who reads every day. That's an identity shift, and you might not think it makes a big difference, but it does. If you are trying to do something, you are just met with resistance. You're telling yourself, I'm not that person yet. So simply start to say, I am just the type of person who does this. I'm just the type of person who is disciplined. Secondly, if you're somebody who drinks alcohol, your discipline and your ability to focus is naturally going to be significantly less. If we're purely talking about your vibration alone, your frequency, alcohol lowers your frequency so much, and it takes 10 days to actually repair your auric field, because there will be so many fissures and holes. And if you're also religious, you'll know that this is the perfect time for entities to attach to you. I know people are like, what the fuck? We signed up for a psychology video and here you're talking about aura. Guys, if you follow me, you know we blend the metaphysical, the spiritual with the science, the psychology, okay? If you're not into that, you click off. Limit your alcohol intake. Or guys, I want to introduce you to something called Z-Biotics. Thank you to Z-Biotics for being the paid partner of today's video. This is such a game changer if you're someone who drinks and likes to have fun with alcohol. It's called pre-alcohol. Let's face it, we like to go out and have a drink every now and then, but usually it's, do we have a good night or do we have a good day? You have a good night and the rest of your week may be ruined. And I know for me, every time I drink alcohol, I'm like, yep, the week is gone. But let me tell you, with pre-alcohol, this is a surefire way to wake up and actually feel refreshed. Winter festivities don't mean you have to lose days when you're drinking and having fun. Pre-alcohol ensures that I'm staying productive and I'm celebrating, from ski events to St. Patrick's Day. This product is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink alcohol, it gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's actually this byproduct and not dehydration that makes the next day rough. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme which helps to break down this byproduct. So if you're interested, click the link right here and you'll get 15% off your first order of pre-alcohol with Z-Biotics. There's also a 100% money back guarantee. So if you're not satisfied, you'll get your money back, no questions asked. Okay, let's continue. You actually need a microdose on things that are very uncomfortable to you, because this is rewiring your brain for discomfort. Discipline is actually discomfort. And research has shown by microdosing, you're building your ability to be disciplined. So that means maybe forcing yourself to wake up earlier, taking a cold shower, swimming in the freezing cold ocean, just doing anything that you don't want to do. Did you know every time you put something off and every time you decide I'm not going to do this thing, I'm instead gonna give into pleasure or doing something that's bad for me, you're literally training yourself to have lower and lower discipline. And as you get older, it's going to be incredibly hard to counteract this. So if you're under the age of 30, now is your time. Now is your time to get disciplined. It's not over if you're over 30, it just might be a little bit harder. Dopamine fasting. If you are severely cooked, you need to dopamine fast. So I have a couple of friends who are very big in the tech space, and all of these guys and girls, they do something called vipassana. And vipassana is essentially where you go to a center, you do 10 days of meditation. It's like a pure dopamine fast. You're doing 10 hours of meditation per day, no eye contact, very bland food, the basic minimum necessities, no reading, no exercise, nothing which is going to stimulate you, 10 hours of meditation. And it builds laser-like focus and also gets you so connected to yourself, because everything in our life is here to stimulate us, to distract us. So when they go and do vipassana, a lot of them start to get really brilliant ideas for the business or for their work. It's not feasible for the average person to go and do vipassana because we have jobs, we have obligations and responsibility. So how can you do this in your daily life? Set 10 to 20 minutes per day to just meditate. Pure silence. Over time, this will train your focus. I say this in all videos. When I am not meditating, all of the distractions in the world can get to me. When I'm meditating, I don't even want those distractions anymore. I become so hyper aware of everything in my environment, everything in my brain, my own emotional state, that I can control it. Something I'm talking about on the Mind Formula Instagram this week, if you haven't followed it yet, is this visualization technique, which I think works amazingly well. Before you guys go into a work session, what I want you to do is, number one, set a timer. Pomodoro technique, time block for however long you want, 1 to 2 hours. Before you go into the session, visualize a black box or a black sphere around you. And you imagine that you cannot see anything, it is just you and your computer. Now imagine that every time you pick up your phone, every time you get distracted by something, you're piercing a hole through this black box and light is coming through. Now, if you continue to do this, you're not even in a black box anymore. Your zone of focus is gone. You have so much light coming in, it is impossible for you to be distracted. It is impossible for you to be focused. Now, this is what you're doing every single day. You try to focus. You get distracted, you try to multitask. You have so many holes that of course you'll never be able to focus. So you need to build this back up. Literally imagine it's like an aura. And just like we talk about alcohol actually causes fissures in our aura. So you have to build this back up. Build up your zone of focus. Make it a challenge for yourself. The brain is really good with challenges. That's why I'm doing my 30-day challenge, because we actually like to prove to ourselves we can do something. That's why setting SMART goals is also very good for us. That's why having reward systems is also very helpful for us to be disciplined and achieve goals. And lastly, whether or not you want to believe this, you can take it with a grain of salt if you're less on the spiritual side, because research does not yet prove this, but attend No Not November. If you're a man especially, try semen retention. Our sexual energy, especially if you're a woman, is one of the most powerful forces in this world. So every time you are releasing for no purpose, you're losing energy. If you're able to actually retain this and hold on to it and transmute it into something else, especially your work, you will notice not only will you have a greater amount of energy, but you will get so many brilliant ideas. And you'll have greater control over your brain. Don't believe me? Try it for 30 days and see how you feel, especially if you are somebody who maybe is a chronic masturbator or you're a sex addict. It's time to gain some self-control. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in my next YouTube video. Cheers!